Hello everybody, this is the next episode of Avenue Media Weekly. We're hosting today Michael Docherty, speaker, publisher, advisor for our large companies, and I'd like to ask you a few questions about digital transformation. It's quite a buzzword right now, so I'd like to know why everybody is so excited about digital transformation.
Yes, it is a buzzword, isn't it? And I think there's some part of it which is a buzzword, but there's some reality to it too. You know, every company that I work with has digital transformation or digital disruption on their agenda. The basis of that really depends on whether it's something that you see as an opportunity or something you're afraid of. Many large companies see digital coming, but see it as more of a threat and are really trying to say, what can we do to defend ourselves from it? We really try to promote the idea that digital transformation is really the idea of kind of embracing the fact that digital is going to change everything we do. That we need to look at it as a new way to connect to customers, connect to consumers, and that digital is a way to create whole new business models. The companies I work with, and in my own background, I've been a corporate exec, a VC, an entrepreneur as well, so I've lived in innovation from different perspectives. So I'm passionate about the topic, but having been a corporate executive, I also understand how difficult it is to really innovate within the confines of a large company. That we're very good as corporate teams at innovating with a small I, you know, innovating to keep and optimize today's business. But what digital, you know, whether it's the Internet of Things or whether it's mobile solutions, that it's not really just about making what we're doing more efficient. It's about the fact that it's going to completely change the way value is created and value is captured. So large companies are generally pretty good at the innovation with a small I and pretty terrible at innovation with a big I. And that's what startups do. They're into disrupting industries, right? And starting whole new businesses. And large companies are very good at growing and scaling large businesses. So digital transformation is about how do we help these large existing businesses transform for the future. I'll use GE as an example, a very old conglomerate that I used to work for that has really gone a long way in transforming their own business to embracing being a digital industrial. Recognizing that at first we sold jet engines, and then we sold service contracts for those jet engines, and now we're selling data integration and complete value chain connection as a new way to help our customers solve their problems and also capture new value. What I then see happening is, you know, yes, digital transformation is a buzzword, but there's a lot really happening in terms of breakthroughs. GE is one example. More companies are recognizing they need to find partners to do this. When you talk about the Internet of Things, let's use that example. I work with Cisco, and Cisco recognizes that you know, the Internet of Things is the future of their business, and they recognize that they can't do it alone. By definition, the Internet of Things means that you have to find new ways to partner with your value chain. And so digital transformation, the execution of that is going to mean we have to develop new ways to partner with each other and maybe even partner with competitors to achieve it.
So do you think we can say that this is a win-win solution for like the startup ecosystem right now and the big companies? So both sides win in this equation, right?
Yeah.
So the next question is, why now? Why this is the thing for the last year and the next year is the explosion of this digital transformation. So everybody is talking about new ideas, new startups, new disruptive thinking, right? Why now, not 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think that you know, it's all about having the perspective of the longer term time frame. If we look at this in the 20-year time frame, you know, we're in the midst of this happening, and it's not going to end in 3 years from now. You know, if you haven't started yet, are you too late? No.
No.
But really things I think are shifting more quickly, in part because we're creating new infrastructure and ecosystems that are enabling this. So with the Predix platform that GE has introduced as an example, and other platforms coming onto the market, we're finding that increasingly these are not one-off solutions. That as we create these platforms that allow us to accelerate digital transformation and connecting products and services, that we're building on that. And it's exponential. That as more and more devices get connected to each other, as more and more consumers connect to this information and customers connect to this information, it's not growing at a linear rate, it's growing at an exponential rate. And now that we're achieving that sort of critical mass of connections, it's really becoming unavoidable that large companies need to engage with that or they're going to be left behind or cut out.
I think the last question is, in looking into the future, what do you think in the next 2, 3, 5 years will be the biggest challenge in perspective of the big companies, how the collaboration with startups or with the whole digital transformation thing will grow or maybe will change business as we know today?
Yeah, great question. And that actually is where I would go with it, is that if you're working for a large company, here's an opportunity now to innovate in new ways by partnering with startups. And if you're working for a startup or you're an innovator on the outside, there's exciting new opportunities to partner in corporations in new ways to actually scale more quickly. So it isn't a matter of corporates and startups competing against each other. You really have the opportunity as an individual to be part of really accelerating change in bigger ways, whether you're in the corporate side or the startup side. You know, it's not really a technology challenge. It's a relationship and a collaboration challenge that we'll always figure out the technology, and there will always be a next level of technology that surpasses the one we have today. The real opportunity comes from, and the winners in this will be the ones that learn to collaborate in new ways. Companies and individuals that are all about control are going to lose. Companies and individuals that learn how to collaborate in new ways and partner with people who might be their competitors, or come together and go apart in new consortium models based on the project need or based on the solution need, are going to be the ones that change. And in fact,
there will be a lot of trust issues maybe with these relationships, and it's not an easy to do a business when everybody is doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, and it'll be, I think, all about creating new ecosystems. I used to say that competitive advantage comes from who has the best technology. I think competitive advantage will come from who has the best relationships. Okay. So it's not that everyone has access to everything. You're going to build your ecosystem of preferred partners, and you're going to be in a keiretsu, if you will, of, it's all about finding the best partners that can help you do more than your competitors, but your definition of competitors is going to be a dynamic thing. I'll go back to Cisco as an example. Cisco measures in terms of how they're evolving as a company based on who their competitors are. If you look at Cisco 10 years ago and look at their competitors, they're a completely different set of competitors today as they were 10 years ago. And that's what we need to do, is think about continually reinventing our businesses and using new forms of collaboration to do it.
Thanks a lot. Great talk.
My pleasure.
I hope that the big companies can be more inspired by your advices. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.